Welcome to another video about strategy, and I hope you're enjoying the other strategy videos that I've created. So let's go to chapter number 1, and here it is. So chapter number 1 is about strategy, business models, and competitive advantage. So now this chapter, if you go through this link over, if you go through these PowerPoints, you will see definitions for all of these. So let me just show you the definition. So this is the definition for strategy, and it is a company strategy explains why the company matters in the marketplace by specifying an approach to creating superior value for customers and determining how capabilities and resources will be utilized to deliver the desired value to customers. Now, I don't know how many of you fell asleep as I was reading that because, that's the textbook definition. So when you write the discussions, I don't want you to use the textbook definition. I want you to use the definition that I had given you, which is, strategy is basically this. You're going, A is, as you recall, it's current situation. B is your desired situation or goal, what you want. And note about the goal is you want something that not only satisfies all your wants and needs, but it goes beyond that. So you aim a little higher. That's what the goal should be. Now, how you go from point A to point B, as I had mentioned, that's your strategy. Okay. So strategy, in other words, would be how you achieve your desired goals. Now, the desired goal could be, let's say you want to increase your sales by 10%, let's say. So that's your goal. And the steps that you take to increase your goals or your sales by 10%, that would be strategy. Now, one of the ways, easy way to increase sales would be to cut cost, lower price. You lower price, you can increase sales. So that's why a strategy needs to be more robust. If you could sell products below cost and you could increase sales. But a better strategy would be if you want to let's say, have the company grow and maybe have a strategy that actually looks at multiple variables. Like, you want to increase customer satisfaction, you want to increase profit, as well as you want to increase sales. So that would be a better goal to achieve. So this way you're not, just temporarily achieving the goal. So by the way, that's what strategy is. You have a goal, and how do you achieve that goal is your strategy. Okay, so explain it in simple terms. And as you can see in this, in these PowerPoints, you will see core concepts. Again, you don't have to just focus on core concepts. You could look at other concepts, whatever you find interesting in the textbook. That's what go off of that. So you can explain what the concept is. You're going to say what concepts you're going to talk about, explain what the concept is in your own words, and give an application of that in either your life or companies or anything that you heard in the news. That's how you do the discussions. And if you go through the syllabus, you'll find more details about how many concepts you're supposed to cover in each discussion. Okay. All right, so that's about the first part, strategy. Let's go to the next slide. Interesting. Okay. So here's some more definition. And the next concept you can see is business model. And a business model has two components. One is customers, and the other is profit. So what we mean by that is, are you satisfying? So a business, a good business is one that actually has a product that people want. There's something that you really, really want. That's what we mean by customers. And the second component is, as you're providing that, you're making money. If one of these is absent, the company's business model will fail. So you could have the best product, but nobody buys it. You're not making any money. Or you have really healthy profit margins on the products, but guess what? People don't want it. Or you have a product that everybody wants it, but you're not charging enough. So you're not making enough money. So these two components, customer value proposition and profit formula, which is you're catering to the customers as well as you're making money as you're doing that. That's why you need to have healthy profits. And by the way, on CNBC, I would highly recommend you watch CNBC because there are tons of shows on CNBC that are all business related shows. So there is the show The Profit, and that if you watch that, you'll actually, any of you who want to start a small business, you would get some good ideas because the person goes in, I think his name is Marcus Lemonius, something like that. He goes in and he turns the business around. So go ahead and watch that. Right, so that's about business model. See, as you can see, I mean, whenever I'm telling you a concept, I'm also giving you an application of that. So that's what it should be. You identify the concept, you explain what the concept is, and give an application of that. And you don't have to pick the ones that I am pointing out over here. That's I'm just giving you an example. Okay, now, so again, this is the lengthy definition of that. And here are the business models for different companies: Pandora, Sirius, over there, broadcasters. It's a lot. And by the way, I just want to make a comment over here. We're gonna uncover a few key ideas. We're not gonna cover everything that's in the the textbook or in the PowerPoints. We're gonna uncover a few key ideas. That's what the goal is of this videos, and you're smart enough to read the chapters on your own. Okay. Next, we go to, okay, so here is, these are the main 5 different strategies. Actually, it's only 2 strategies and everything else comes off of that. So either you're competing based on cost or you're competing based on quality. So example of a low-cost provider would be Walmart. Okay, Walmart is low cost. I mean, Walmart, Aldi's low cost. And an offshoot of that is focused low cost, meaning you are focusing on lower cost, but that is only on select products. So dollar store would be an example of this. And let's say Payless would be another example of this. And by the way, if you do pick this concept, pick only one concept. Don't talk about all these 5 different strategies. So just pick, let's say, low cost. And you're going to talk about low cost. You explain what low cost is and how companies are achieving that. Okay. So you got low cost, focused low cost. That is low cost, like Walmart. You got all the products, lots of products, right from food to diapers to like car oil change, clothes, everything. So that's like you are catering to a large number of audience and you are offering lots of products, versus focused low cost would be it is focused on a certain thing, like either dollar store focused on cheap items less than $1, Payless is focused only on cheap shoes. Now the other side of this is differentiation, which is based on quality. An example of that would be Apple. Let's say Apple would be considered somebody that is competing based on quality. And focused differentiation would be a company that is focused, that is focused on a particular niche market. So focused low cost would be, say, luxury cars. So again, whenever we say focus, we saw in focus low cost and focus differentiation, the focus is on a particular segment of the market. You're not catering to everyone. So luxury cars, luxury goods, you're charging a premium, and that's what the focused differentiation is. And the combination of low cost and differentiation is best cost, meaning you are giving a better value. You're not the lowest, but you're not the highest. At the same time, you're giving either better customer service or a better product at the same price. Example of this would be Target. you have a better shopping experience here. So that's what best cost provider is. So these are 5 different strategies. If you do talk about this concept, do not pick all 5 of them, just pick one of them and explain that. Now, yeah, this is definition of that. Okay. Sustainable competitive advantage. So why is sustainable competitive advantage important? Now, did you notice, like, whenever I see something where there's a lot of written and you can't see it, I'm moving my picture around. So you might want to do the same thing. So this way people can read what's on your slides. So any advantage that you have, this I mentioned earlier also, is your advantage. If it's let's say if it is based on a location, you're located in a mall, then it would be temporary at best because anybody can copy it. And there will not be any advantage that is permanent because things change, technology changes, competitors change, lots of changes happen. So the competitive advantage you have today won't be your advantage tomorrow. A good example of that is Polaroid. I mean, most of you probably are too young to make sense of or relate to this. But for those of you who are younger, Polaroid was the camera where you could instantly take pictures, and it would print on a film. So you see the Polaroid, the picture right there. Now, guess what happened to Polaroid? It had technically almost a monopoly. Nobody could do what Polaroid was doing. But digital cameras came along and nobody wanted to use Polaroid. So, I mean, competitors didn't beat it, but technology changed, things changed. So that's why, so you cannot have an advantage that's permanent, but you can have an advantage that would last you a long time. That's what we mean by sustainable competitive advantage, meaning an advantage that lasts over a number of periods, over a number of years. Okay, now, as I mentioned, we're not going to be covering everything, so we're just going to skip this and go to the ones that are important. And this is like sometimes company strategies are not, they evolve over time as changes happen to the products, technology. That's what it is. Realized strategy is a combination of, planned elements as well as unplanned element, meaning, things happen. Sometimes you may not foresee all the events. And some components of a company's deliberate strategy will fail in the marketplace and will become abandoned, as you saw over here. In this, so this is the abandoned, and this is the ones that have. So now, a test of a winning strategy is the strategy suitable for the company's situation. So, I mean, if the company finds out that, oh, there's great market for, let's say, oil, but the company is Apple and they are making iPhones, is that really feasible? So, you want to make sure that it is actually whatever you see opportunities that are out there suit what the company is capable of doing. Competitive advantage is the strategy helping achieve a sustainable competitive advantage. Again, the keyword is sustainable because you could come up with a strategy, and if anybody can copy it, then you're just wasting your time. The last one is performance is the strategy producing good company performance. So yes, it's good to think in terms of long-term, it's giving long-term competitive advantage, but at the same time, are you making money? All right, so crafting and executing strategy, and again, we're going to be focusing on this more later on as well. So a good strategy, you want to make sure that it is executed properly as well. So that's why, when I told you about this earlier, so strategy and leadership. So strategy is good, but you need a good leader to make things happen. And at the same time, you need to put in good processes. So there could be some kind of checks and balances as to, what is it that you would define as success? How would you measure your performance? Like that. All right, so now this was the first chapter, and I purposely wanted to keep it short to get this started. So just to recap, we talked about strategy, and again, strategy is how you get from point A to point B, and B is your goal, whatever you want to achieve. Either it is increasing sales or increasing profit, whatever the goal may be. So make sure when you do, and in future chapters we'll look at the goals too, make sure the goal that you pick is something that not only satisfies what it is that you're looking for, but as goes beyond that. This way, you're not just shooting for something low. You are actually trying to have a stretch goal going beyond what you want to go. So that was strategy. The next is your business model. The business model is about two components. One is customers, meaning you're satisfying what the customers want. And the second aspect is the company is making money. Okay? And the third important concept is about what kind of strategies. So low cost, differentiation, these are two main types. And you have focused low cost, focused differentiation, and a combination of these is the best cost strategy. And again, you can go back and get more details on that. And also your book has good details about that. And the final concept is about competitive advantage. Make sure you have an advantage that is sustainable over a period of time. If competitors can easily copy it, then at best, you have a temporary advantage. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I'm going to create some more videos for other chapters. So I'll see you in future videos. Thank you.